Yep, it's me, Lila, Gma Rides, out doing something interesting, and I took you with me. And as you can see, in this case, we went to South Haven, Southern Thunder, Harley Davidson, where I stopped for photo op, and my friend Rainey and I went inside and visited with the friendly staff there. Uh-huh. Look at that little girl. She looks so young. He also took me out for some local sightseeing, which included, I think he said this was the Turner Levee. I don't really remember, but it was really cool to look at. Broad expanse of flatness. Excuse me, I'm a little tongue-tied at the moment. Anyhow, look at that sign in the background. Also pretty cool. But the main thing here is that Abe's has some really great barbecue, as you can see by that sandwich that I totally demolished. Its claim to fame is also that somebody apparently sold their soul to the devil. No, that wasn't a tombstone. This was the corner that it happened on. They sold their soul to the devil so they could play some really good blues guitar. I don't know about that, but man, that sandwich was pretty kicking. Anyway, look at that thing on the side of this building and tell me what you think it looks like. Just drop me a comment, okay? Yep, that was the route we took to get down to Birmingham. We got up the next morning after all that local sightseeing and headed out. It wasn't an unreasonable ride. It just took us a couple of hours, and it wasn't very bad traffic-wise until we got to Birmingham, which we cleverly scheduled our day to arrive there just about work traffic time. And work traffic anywhere pretty much sucks, and Birmingham was not that much different. I didn't record that part because nobody needs to watch me go through that kind of aggravation, people. Really, you don't. I know a lot of people wear cameras for traffic insurance like purposes, but I can't focus when I have a camera on in heavy traffic, so usually I just ignore it and just let it record in the background. Yeah, but anyway, what I was going to say is while we're taking our quick ride to Birmingham, I'm going to let you know some facts about the Barber Museum. It became George Barber's idea back in the 1960s. George Barber himself was a businessman, and he had an impressive track record knocking out 63 first-place wins in a Porsche race car. Yeah, well, race car. I guess that's obvious, huh? But anyway, he discovered that he enjoyed collecting and restoring cars. Apparently, people with too much money and extra time on their hands like to collect and restore things. Seems to happen a lot. Either that or just poor people can't afford to have a lot of toys. Anyhow, in 1988-ish, he shifted gears and decided that instead of just cars, he was going to have the best and largest motorcycle collection. At which time his friend and Dave Hooper was the guy's name. He was also a motorcycle enthusiast, and he ran a delivery fleet for Barber for like 27 years or something. But anyway, to jumpstart Mr. Barber's collection, Mr. Hooper suggested some vehicles and then gifted Barber with a couple of his own bikes. And one of them was a really rare 1952 Victoria Burgmeister. And it was a beautiful machine. I would like to tell you that I could tell you which picture it is, but I can't. But I'm pretty sure I have a picture of it in somewhere in my phone. Anyhow, in 1994, Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum was established as a bona fide tax-exempt private operating foundation, and the museum opened to the public at its original Southside Birmingham location in '95. The collection showcased engineering, balance, and a unique design of each piece that was in the collection. Boy, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? All through the 90s, Barber had a staff that was getting ready to, that got the motorcycles ready to race and kept them in that type of condition for competition, and they were doing really good in the racing circuit. In '92, they had some good wins in Daytona. Sorry, I was trying to check my facts while I was talking, and apparently I can't do that. They also went over to Europe and competed in '98, brought back 7 national championships. That's pretty impressive. This Corvette belongs to a guy that was also himself on a vacation that weekend. Cool car, huh? It's right outside of the motel we stayed at, just down the street from the Barber Museum. And also just up the street from Buc-ee's, which was really conveniently located because, food. Food's a big deal. Yeah, this is inside Barber, though. So like I told you, they have a lot of cool motorcycles in there. And I wish I could ID each and every one of these, but I can't. If you can, feel free to leave me a comment, okay? 1998, a call was received from the Guggenheim Museum in New York, and they sent 21 bikes to be exhibited in The Art of the Motorcycle. That exhibit also traveled to Chicago and Bilbao and Spain. Or maybe Bilbao's in Spain, I'm not sure. Anyway, right around 1999, Mr. Barber conceived of the idea of adding a racetrack, and he decided he wanted a world-class racetrack. And he has a really nice setup down there. It's more than just a straight track. It's really fascinating looking and has continued to evolve. 2003, 2014, there were some other major additions to it, a lot of different layouts which they can switch for the different types of classes they're doing or races they're having, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know, I guess they put cones up and run a cone course out there. That would be fun. Currently, the motorcycle is home to over 1,800 motorcycles spanning over 100 years of production. More than 1,000 bikes can be seen on any given day, and about 200 different manufacturers from 22 different countries. Harley, Honda, Indian, Showa, DSK, Kagiva. I don't know. I can't pronounce that either. There are also some pretty exquisite cars in there. I was really stunned by all of these old vintage motorcycles they have. And they're all in really pristine condition. Nicely painted up. The only thing that looks very used on them is usually their tires, which are generally, they just look like old tires. But Mr. Barber continued with his love of cars also, and he currently has an extensive Lotus collection, anchored by a Lotus 21. It also displays a lot of rare race cars, including Ferraris and, there's one that won the 1964 Formula One Drivers' World Championship. It's almost before my time, but not exactly. The museum and park, that's what they call the racetrack area, drew 368,000 visitors last year, including more than 3,000 from other countries. In 2014, it was officially recognized in Guinness as being the world's largest motorcycle collection. I think it'd be easy to lose sight of that fact because the museum itself goes up 5 floors and it's kind of sprawled out. Oh, look, there's Bigfoot. He was my buddy that day. The racetrack itself has a couple of walkways you can go over and just kind of wander around and watch from ahead over top and see the races in way. And this is kind of fun. Check this out. Wait for it. Do you see her? I was taken aback a little bit by this. It was right around Halloween when I went, so I was wondering if they just put her up there occasionally. And then, of course, there's Bigfoot. I don't know exactly what's going on, the dynamic between the two of those, but it was pretty weird, huh? The funniest thing was that she has a sparkly skirt on, so every once in a while when it catches the sunlight, it kind of does that whole disco ball thing. Yep. But yeah, wandering around the track was really fascinating. They have a little wooded area in the middle you can go hang out in and suck up some exhaust, so it's a lot of fun. We are getting perilously close to the end of this video, though, so if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and leave me a comment. And if you wanted to share this video, I wouldn't hate that either. And you could also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, that would be greatly appreciated. And you could save this video to watch later, compare it to my other museum videos, or you could share it with your friends. You know, you can even share it with your enemies. I don't care. See, look, I told you they had all kinds of cool old motorcycles there. You should go to Barber yourself someday. I think it would be well worth your time. I know I really enjoyed my day there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did get a kick out of walking around and looking at all the old motorcycles and walking across the track. And this is out front, Barber. But yeah, oh yeah, me and Bucky. This was a nice lady that I met there. She and I are Facebook friends now. But hey, anyway, GoPro, stop recording.